Well, what are other things that you like about Armenia?
I really like the food actually. So I find
Okay.
the food, I mean, I've traveled a lot around the region and I've traveled a lot in countries that used to be part of the USSR. And I struggle with food a little bit. It's either really oily and heavy and it doesn't sit well with my stomach, or it has like a lot of dill on it, and I really don't like dill.
Mm, okay.
So I find the food either super heavy, full of dill, or it just isn't for me. Um, but this is kind of the exception of a country where I really just love almost everything here. I find the food a lot lighter. It's got a little bit of like Middle Eastern flair to it, so it has like a lot of use. Sorry, I have to itch my nose.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh
We
no.
have a superstition in my culture. For example, if
Yeah.
your nose is itching, there are two reasons.
Mm.
First, either you're gonna drink a lot of vodka, and
I
second,
kinda like that
someone
one.
is gonna fall in love with you. So maybe after this podcast, goes air, maybe someone will fall in love with you. So.
I'll have to go walking on the street, see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. All right, back to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I find the food here to be, it's like a little bit of a mixture of everything in the region. So you do have some of the heavier foods here, but you also have some really light and fresh ingredients that are used in the cuisine. And it's for me a breath of fresh air. It's just fresh and seasonal, and they don't put chemicals and stuff. Everything is very natural, and it just feels really good. So like when I eat a meal here, I don't usually feel like disgustingly full afterwards. Whereas while I like Georgian food a lot, I find Georgian food exceptionally heavy. So I don't feel great after I eat it, but it feels good when you're eating it. Here I feel good as I eat it and after I eat it usually.
Right.
So I really like it. But for me, I think that's probably one of my top, aside from the people, I really like the food here. On the contrary, there is not a lot of diversity within food. So
yeah, that's what I felt like. Yeah, when I was there.
Yeah, if you don't like Armenian food, you're gonna hate the food here because that is all that they have. There are not a lot of international restaurants here, and if you do have them, they are just not good. So fortunately, they have like a lot of Lebanese food, which is really tasty, and it's good here. But you have to come here with the mindset of I'm gonna have to eat like an Armenian, or I'm not going to be able to survive here unless I cook on my own.
Right. Well, when we hear about Georgia, it's like, I don't know, cheese, wine, khachapuri, and lobiani, but I don't know actually any traditional dishes, Armenian dishes.
Yeah. So Armenian dishes, and like I hate in certain regions when they're like, oh no, that belongs to this country or that. I can tell you what they eat here. I don't know where it originated, but they eat dolma, like the grape leaves wrap, which is common in the entire region. So they have dolma, they have lavash, the bread. It's like a very thin, large bread. It's really tasty.
Like used for shawarma, right?
Oh yeah. It's like you can eat anything with it, is what I've learned, and it actually would be really good in American cuisine. Like with, you can kind of substitute it for like Mexican tortillas if you're gonna go the flour tortilla route, which I don't prefer, but I think lavash is really tasty, so it would actually be a nice complement. Yeah, I mean, you have that. You have a bunch of different soups. They eat a lot of salads here. Like some ingredients that you'll find commonly are like pomegranates. You see like tarragon, apricots. Yeah, the tomatoes here are super good. It's the same up in Georgia and even over next door in Azerbaijan. So like the produce here, it tastes like nothing I've tasted in my part of the world. It's really, really flavorful and juicy.
For full episodes, go to solopacker.com.